Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrets It, Brexit Britain. After mysteriously being mauled by a polar bear, Britain decided it no longer liked animals. Britain decided to go down to the local zoo and poke a lion with a pencil. Just a bit too close. And I hate zoos. Also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages, I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all your messages for definite. So we've had like overnight we've had the sad death of one of our favourites, obviously Lionel Blair. Absolute great dancer. Actually, he was just an all rounder. He was just an all rounder, isn't it? Just the comedian, dancer, presenter. Do you know what I mean? And he was excellent at all of them. I mean, we're really excellent. We really don't get people like that anymore. Do you know what I mean? And he used to do what give us a clue. I think was it give us a clue, something like that, isn't it? With oh god, the other one who died. I think she died. Was it Ewan Stubbs? I can't remember. I'm not gonna, but I think so. Right. So yeah. So, and as I mentioned, Lionel Blair, because you know that his Cockney rhyme and slang, right, is Lionel Blair nightmare, which is exactly what the government is having. They're having a Lionel Blair, R.I.P. Right. So, I done my video yesterday, right, and literally the minute I finished the video, right, Owen Patterson resigned. I was like, what the hell is it? Right? He didn't even give it a chance to put it to his constituents, because the sleazebag could have went back to his constituents and said, you know what, yeah, what do you think? Do you think you give me another chance? Could have quite easily done that, but you know what I think's happened, yeah, and I'm just speculating, but I do like to speculate. I think Boris Johnson just said to him, "Look, you know what? Yeah, this stink just kicked up far too much now. So what you have to do, yeah, is you have to just, we'll just resign, yeah, because we're going to put it back through. We're going to just like null that vote yesterday, and we're going to put it back through, right? So the best thing you can do is just probably resign, right? Don't worry, because you've got your gold-plated pension. You'll be made into a lord." Right, you'll probably still be able to do your lobbying, but now when you do your lobbying, right, you're no longer an MP, right? So you can lobby away now, right? So that's probably what's gone on. Do you know what I mean? But he's come out and he's come out all guns blazing. He's blaming this person, he's blaming that person, he's blaming the system of being a politician. Well, if you want to be a politician, yeah, just be a fucking honest one, right? And then you won't have all the controversy around you, right? We've got 540 other thinkers, MPs, right? I can't remember, right? But not all of them, right, are turn around and saying that the Parliamentary Standards Committee are flawed, right? Because most MPs go through their whole time, yeah, without actually having to be judged by that committee. That's the thing, right? It's similar to like it's similar to if to a school tape, right? There's going to be some children, yeah, who have never gone in front of the headmaster for anything, right? Gone through the whole school time, never gone through the headmaster for anything that's not good anyway, right? But there's going to be some kids, yeah, that's in the headmaster's office constantly, every day they're there, right? Because you know what? Because they're playing up, right? It's the same with the MPs. Right, you should really be able to go through your career, right, without the Parliamentary Standards Committee looking at anything that you've done, because they've got the RH title, Right Honourable. That used to mean a lot, don't mean shit now. And, today's like the 5th of November, yeah, So we got, you know, and if Guy Fawkes, right, had got his own way, right, we wouldn't even be having this discussion now. You know, probably be having this discussion about somewhere called the Senate, right? Unless they decided to build up Parliament again after Guy Fawkes blew it up. You know, on a normal basis, yeah, on a normal basis, like, because tonight would be, you know, it's anonymous, isn't it? And they normally go and congregate in Parliament Square, right, and kick off with the police and that. Do you know what I mean? Have a good shout up and kick off with the police a little bit. Do you know what I mean? A couple of fireworks are thrown and all this type of nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I'm normally having it, but it's so cold today, right? But I might check it out later. I'm not sure, right? But and then right, I'm sure it's like it's. Oh, I can't remember. I think it's. I'm sure, right? It's like it's this week in 1911, I think, somewhere around there, right? That MPs, yeah, actually started getting paid, right? And you see where we've gone to with that, and I think their wages, yeah, was around £400 a year. Right, but the average wage, right, was around £70 a year, right? In, you know, at that time, right? So as you can see, they've always been paid. Yeah, they've always been well paid, but as opposed to as compared to like to as besides like the normal working person, right? So now they're talking about, oh, you know, perhaps they should be given more money because you know that's not gonna get anybody. It's not gonna get anybody better in to do the work that these guys do. You're just gonna have more people like Robert Jenrick, right, who's just being paid more money for doing the normal crap what they do anyway. Right? You're not going to get anybody different. Right? The people who are going to apply are going to apply. Right? You know, no one, right, should be going into politics because you know what? It's a high wage. Right? That's not the reason. That's not the reason to go into politics. It's not the reason to go into politics to make money. Right? But that's what all these guys have done. They're all going to politics to make money. That's why Owen Paterson has been caught out like in this way. Because you know what? He's gone into politics to make money. And he's proved that. Right? And you know, the thing with Owen Paterson, yeah, he doesn't actually believe he's done anything wrong. He believes, you know what? I'm in the right. Right? He thinks, yeah, that the rules are wrong. As far as he's concerned. Right? You know, it's, you know, this is the understanding here. This is the difference in how these guys think to how your normal person will think. Right? Normal people don't think in that way. Normal people think, well, you know what, the rules actually apply to me. Boris Johnson never thinks the rules apply to him. That's why he lied to the Queen. Oh well, said Jacob Rees-Mogg to do it. Right? But that's why he does these things, because you know these guys, they do not believe these rules apply to them. Right. You know, these rules, right, have been made up for probably for the Labour Party and for the Liberal Democrats and the Scottish National. Right. That's who these rules are made up for. These rules are not made up for the Tories, but they're the ones who always get caught up in the sleaze because that's who they are, and that's who they've always been. Right. You know, these guys go through life believing that, you know what, life owes them. Right, and life is happy, right, that they're in the world. That's how these guys think. Right, they don't believe anything should affect them. Nothing at all. Right, and you know, it hasn't just started. It hasn't just started with these people. Right, you go back to someone like Lord Archer, who got sent to prison for lying. Right, you know, great author, but you know, ex-convict, right? But he got sent to prison for lying, right? Because you know what? He believed, right, that you know he could do that and get away with it, right? And this is the thing, right? You know, if you look at, you know, you look at what Boris Johnson just done to Kwasi Kwarteng yesterday, sent him out, right, to go and defend Owen Paterson, right? And by the time Kwasi Kwarteng got back in the ministerial car, right, from probably his third interview, because he was like BBC One, Sky, LBC, right? So probably by his third interview, right, Jacob Rees-Mogg was already doing the U-turn, right, faster than a London taxi driver. The man just U-turn straight, right? And and poor old Kwasi Kwarteng is out there, right, defending the shit, and people are asking him really, asking him really difficult questions. And someone said to him, well, didn't Boris Johnson fly back on a private jet? And he went, oh, Boris Johnson flew there, and he flew away, and that was his answer. These people, I just feel so. Boris Johnson will just he just do as he wants with them. He just bitch slap them and just treat them like his bitch. That's what Boris Johnson does to all of them. Whether it's Dominic Cummings, he brought Dominic Cummings the whole Barnard Castle nonsense, right? Got the man prime time on TV, right? And then when they're ready, you know what? Because you see him and Carrie, they're ruthless, right? They're just ruthless. They'll just throw anybody under the bus, right? But don't be fooled by none of this, right? Because all of this, right, the smashing of the Standards Committee, right, is forward thinking from Boris Johnson. Just like when Boris Johnson said to you, you know what, I paint buses, right? The man's thinking forward. Because every time you mention Boris Johnson on a bus, right, £350 million, right? That was the whole idea about the bus. If he says something about a bus, right, then straight away, right, that starts to take the headlines, right? On the internet, you look Boris Johnson on a bus, right, starts to knock the other one down the pages, because now Boris Johnson paints buses. Oh, he loves to paint buses, right? So don't be fooled, right, by these people, because this is a long-term plan from Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson right now is setting this up, right? So because this Standards Committee is coming after him, right? And he wanted to load this Standards Committee with pure conservatives, right? So that whatever he's accused of, they'll just say, oh, no, well, we find that was within the rules. It looks dodgy, but things can often look dodgy, but not be dodgy. That's how they're thinking. They're thinking long term ahead, right? And that's what this was all about. Him trying to smash that committee, right? But it's blown up in his face, right? It is really blown up in his face, right? And a lot of people can see this. But the thing about Boris Johnson, Boris Johnson doesn't really care what you can see. He doesn't care what you can see, because he will show you everything. Boris Johnson, he's the robber that comes into the bank here with his face uncovered, right? Because he shows you everything that he's going to do, right? And it's whether or not, right, you people decide, you know what, immigration to me is much more important than Boris Johnson's incompetence, his dishonesty, his sleaze, his moronic behaviour. Immigration is much more important. Getting the bloody immigrants out. That's how you're thinking, right? Boris Johnson's just like, you know what? Yeah, I can just ride that wave. He's living a nice life, right? He's living a nice life, right? Staying in fantastic places that you could only dream of, and even in your dream, those places will be too expensive for you to go in. Right, so he's living the life of Riley, right? And the what really gets me, right, about this whole situation, right, is Boris Johnson, right, believes that he was born to live this life, right? He believes that, right? And if he believes that, then maybe what, he should be paying for it him fucking self, right? Because this Standards Committee, is going to say that, you know what, you and Kerry are a bunch of fucking scroungers. That's what you are, right? You're going around, you're getting people to pay for your decor, right? Getting people to pay for your babysitting, right? Getting people to pay for your holidays. You're a bunch of scroungers. You're like trailer park trash, right? That's what the committee's going to say about Boris Johnson, and that's what him and Carrie are afraid of. So they've tried to get rid of that, right? But as I said, it's blown up in their face, right? Which was always going to happen, because a lot of these Tory MPs are saying, they're all coming out now saying, oh, I didn't really want to vote for that, but we was bullied into it. You think, really? You was bullied into it. That's the state, right, of our government, right? People that can be bullied, come on, seriously, right? None of these guys, have they not got their own mind, right? You know, if your MP voted for this, right, then come on, right? You've got to say, you know what, this now is too much, right? I don't care I don't care about what they say to me about immigration. I'm not interested no more. I can't vote for these people, right? Listen. As I always tell you, right? They always tell you, well, Corbyn would have been so much. What do you think Corbyn could have been? I mean, if Corbyn was this bad, right? The newspapers would have been tearing the backside off of him. They'd have been ripping the fuck out of it if Corbyn was this bad. Right? Why do you allow Boris Johnson to be this bad? Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm Dempsey John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.